Ever wanted to start your own garden but didn't know where to begin? The joy of gardening is a feeling like no other. It's an intimate connection with nature, a chance to nurture life in your very own backyard. It's the thrill of seeing a seed sprout, a bud bloom, and the satisfaction of harvesting fresh, homegrown produce. Gardening is more than just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. It's a therapeutic escape from the hustle and bustle of daily life. With each plant you care for, you're not just growing vegetables or flowers, you're cultivating patience, nurturing resilience, and harvesting peace. Moreover, gardening is a positive step towards environmental responsibility. Every plant you grow is a breath of fresh air for the planet. So, are you ready to embark on this green journey? To contribute to the environment and reap the fruits of your labor? Enough with the introductions, let's dive right into the steps to kickstart your gardening journey. First things first, planning. Yes, even in gardening, a little bit of planning goes a long way. Gardening isn't just about scattering seeds and waiting for them to sprout. It's an art, a science, and a labor of love. And like any great masterpiece, it starts with a plan. Think about the location of your garden. Will it get enough sunlight? Is it shielded from harsh winds? And what about the soil? It's your plant's home, so make sure it's rich and fertile. Next, choose the right plants. Consider your local climate, the seasons, and the amount of care each plant needs. A cactus and a rose, for instance, have very different needs. And don't forget to consider the size of your garden. Small space? No problem. There's a myriad of compact plants that can thrive in limited spaces. Remember, a well-planned garden is half the work done. Now that we have a plan, it's time to prepare the soil. This step is vital, as the health of your soil directly affects the health of your plants. Soil isn't just dirt, it's a complex ecosystem teeming with life and the home of your future plants. Start by testing your soil. This will give you a snapshot of its health and what nutrients it may be lacking. You can get soil testing kits from most garden centers. Next, enrich your soil with compost. Compost is a gardener's best friend. It's rich in nutrients and beneficial bacteria that help your plants thrive. Spread a layer of compost about 2 to 3 inches deep over your garden beds and mix it in with the existing soil. Finally, prepare your garden beds. Remove any rocks or debris, then till the soil to about 12 inches deep. This loosens the soil, making it easier for your plant's roots to grow. With the soil ready, we're one step closer to our garden. With our soil prepared, we are now ready to plant our seeds. Now, planting seeds is not merely about scattering them around, it's a thoughtful process that requires a detailed understanding of the seeds, their growth habits, and their specific needs. So let's dive right in. First, we need to discuss the right depth to plant your seeds. Each seed has its own optimal depth, usually mentioned on the seed packet. As a general rule of thumb, the planting depth should be approximately 2 to 3 times the width of the seed. Too shallow, and the seed may dry out. Too deep, and it may not have the energy to reach the surface. Next, let's talk about watering. Water is the life force that will awaken your seeds, but there's a delicate balance to maintain. Overwatering can lead to rot, and underwatering can lead to drying out. The key is to keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged. A gentle spray is often best for newly planted seeds, as a strong stream of water can dislodge them. Spacing your seeds appropriately is another crucial step. The right distance between seeds ensures that each plant will have enough room to grow without competing with its neighbors for nutrients or sunlight. Again, check the seed packet for the recommended spacing. If you're planting in rows, make sure to leave enough space between each row as well. Remember, gardening is not an exact science. It's more of an art that you will perfect over time. It's okay to make mistakes. What's important is that you learn from them and keep going. One more thing to keep in mind is that nature operates on its own timetable. Even with the best care, seeds may take longer to germinate than expected. Don't be disheartened if you don't see sprouts popping up immediately. Patience is key here, as it will take some time for your seeds to germinate. And remember, the joy of gardening is in the journey, not just the destination. So enjoy each step, and before you know it, you'll be reaping the fruits of your labor. The seeds have been sown, but our work is far from over. Isn't it amazing to watch a tiny seed grow into a flourishing plant? But remember, our journey doesn't end with planting. It's now time for the most rewarding part, maintaining our garden. Watering is the first step. Plants are like us, they need water to survive. But how much water does your plant need? Well, it depends on the type of plant, the soil, and the climate. As a rule of thumb, a good soaking once or twice a week is better than a light sprinkle every day. This encourages the roots to grow deep into the soil. Next, weeding. Weeds are like uninvited guests, popping up unannounced and competing with your plants for nutrients and water. Regular weeding is essential to keep your garden healthy. The easiest way to weed is to pull them out while they're young and the soil is moist. Then comes pest control. Don't be alarmed when you spot a bug or two. Not all bugs are bad. Some, like ladybugs and spiders, are beneficial as they eat pests. But if you see your plants getting damaged, it might be time for action. Natural remedies like neem oil or a simple soap water mixture can be effective. Remember, the goal is not to create a bug-free garden, but a balanced ecosystem. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for, harvesting. Knowing when to harvest can be tricky. Generally, fruits and vegetables are best when they're fully colored and firm to touch. Herbs can be picked as soon as they have enough leaves to maintain their growth. Gardening is not just about growing plants, it's about nurturing life, about patience and dedication. It's about learning and growing along with your garden. So roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, and keep your garden thriving. With consistent care and attention, your garden will thrive and you'll reap the fruits of your labor. Let's recap the gardening process. We embarked on a delightful journey, starting with a well-thought-out plan for our garden. We then prepared the soil, ensuring it was rich and ready to support life. Next, we carefully planted our chosen seeds, each a promise of future growth. Finally, we discussed how to maintain our garden, nurturing each plant with care and attention. Remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy each step of the process and happy gardening.